Hello, I'm Amber.
And I'm Neha. We are parents of a gifted child who's on autism spectrum.
Through our YouTube channel, we want to help parents with children on the autism spectrum learn more about autism, avoid a lot of myths that are there around autism, as well as provide a lot of tips and strategies that can help ease your parenting journey. All our content is very well researched, but please note that every child is unique and there is no way that this content replaces any kind of professional medical advice or intervention. Now, if you find this video helpful, please like it, subscribe to our channel, and further share it with parents whose children may be on the autism spectrum that you may know about. Now, we all want our children on the autism spectrum to socialize and play with other children of their age. So, social skills are very important. We all know that. Have you ever noticed your child playing independently? Have you seen any pattern or logic when the child is trying to play independently? Is he actually playing, or is he just sitting looking lost in his own world? When you give the child a toy, does he actually play with it, or a puzzle, or does he just look at it for some few minutes and then keeps it aside, and that engagement with that particular toy is not more than 4, 5, 6 minutes? We all know that social skills are important, but then we often ignore the importance of independence play. And independent play often is a milestone that comes much earlier than social play. uh, as far as the timeline for independent play is concerned, for a regular child, by the age of 6 months the child should be able to play for around 5 minutes on his or her own. By age of 12 months they should be able to handle around 15 minutes of independent play, and by the age of 18 months it should be around 15 to 20 minutes, and by the age of 2 years it should be around 30 minutes of independent play. Independent play is very crucial as it helps building the child's concentration, critical thinking, and confidence. It is very important for the child to know how to keep himself or herself busy. And that is something which we all as parents ignore, and we just, a lot of us just focus on the social skill aspect of play.
So independent play is very, very important, and it has to be taught and monitored. It just cannot come on its own. We give a toy to the young one and we expect him to know how to use it. It's like parents also, if we're given something for the first time and if we don't know how to use it, what are we going to do with it? We look at it, do something with it, make some noise, or does it play, or does it sound like something, or what does it sound like, and that's it, and we leave it. If we do not teach that appropriate play, the method of playing with that particular toy, how is the child going to do it? Whatever he learns on his own, it can turn into a stimming problem. Now, stimming is something which it's self-stimulating. It is a stereotype behavior. It is a repetitive body movement, and it is the child can go on and on doing that because it gives him some kind of solace. It gives him some kind of what can we say? Let's say it regulates his. Learns to regulate himself on his own. The child is able to regulate on his own, but that is not something which is very, very good. Sometimes we all get into that. We get into that mode of stimming and we get into our own zone, but not repetitively. So if a child is doing that, it's not something which is going to be acceptable for him as well, because it's not proper play. What we want is proper play for a child, proper independent time where he's spending time with his toys in an appropriate manner. If there is a toy which is meant for let's say a vehicle, or we're talking about a car, if we are taking that, he should know that it goes on the road. Then if there's an aeroplane, he can make those movements that it is going up in the sky. It has to be taught to him. He will not know. How will he know on his own? It's not that everything comes with observation for them. It is a little harder for us. It is a little harder for them to understand. So teaching independent play can be a valuable skill for children on autism spectrum. Now, it is not only does it promote social skills, but also cognitive and emotional development. So here are some teaching tips which can help you develop independent play in your child. Start by something small. Do not introduce your child to something which is too big and which is too overwhelming for the child. it can be overwhelming for us as well if we are given something. Let's say we're learning up a new language. If we are just given a whole sentence in it and told to read, how are we going to do that unless we are taught? We need to go with the basics. We need to start with smaller steps, each baby step. So bring in something with smaller things to make your child comfortable. Maybe a little soft toy, because children can relate to soft things. They like it in their hand. It gives them a nice texture, and it gives them something to hold on to, and even de-stresses them for certain. In certain ways. You can try using a squishy ball. You can tell him to just squeeze on it, and because it releases, it's like a stress buster. So the child can do that, but you have to tell him how to play with it, because our children can take things in their mouth. It is not meant as a teether. It is there something to play with. So you should, maybe a parent can start deliberately sitting in front of the child and doing something with a particular toy, and make sure the toys are safe. Please make sure there's something big which they cannot take in their mouth, because it's a choking hazardous thing. So you have to be careful with that. Now, every time you sit in front of your child and play, you don't have to tell him, do this. You do it yourself first. It has to be shown to them. It has to be done step by step. So you show it to them and you keep talking about it. Oh, now I'm squeezing the ball. It gives them language as well. It develops their language as well. So you should model it out. You should show what activities you're doing. You should, my husband particularly enjoys playing with Lego, as in like building things. And my son has taken to it by looking at him that, okay, you join Legos and you join the bricks and you can create something nice out of it. For him, obviously, it takes a little while for him to become more creative. So what he does nowadays, he is able to stack up. And earlier he would do 2 or 3. Now he's able to stack up 10, 15 and convert it into a tower. So that is the first step that a child does. And he's able to tell us also about it. It's very sort of a long tower, and then you keep giving them vocabulary. It increases their vocabulary. Social skills will also develop faster if you keep giving them vocabulary. Your child may surprise you one day by speaking so many words which you don't even realize that you're actually giving to him. So one of the things which can come with independent play and teaching them is language. When you're doing these things, they also copy the same thing and they remember. Trust me, our children are so brilliant. They are able to observe and they are able to hear and they are able to remember, retain. And yes, as I said, they can surprise you anytime, anywhere. Plus, again, you should provide appropriate material. It should be about what kind of material it is, plus the kind of toy you're giving to your child. It should be age appropriate, but at the same time, if our children are, say, about 6, they are still getting the hang of it, how to play with certain things. So even if a toy which is meant for 3 to 4 years old, it's fine, please give it. Don't be like, we just need to throw it away and he's not going to use it. No, age appropriate doesn't mean only something which is written on that. You can see for yourself where your child is. Is he able to play with it? If the child is able to play with it and he's able to enjoying that particular activity, do not take that chance from him and say, okay, he's too big. No, he can't play with this. Don't do that to him. Next is, you should use visual aids. Always helps. Maybe for our child, like he understands now. He watches a lot of videos. He watches Old MacDonald had a farm. We had a farmhouse farm thing, Lego set as well for him, and he could relate to it. And there was a cow there, and there's a sheep there as well, and he could relate to it. And he kept saying farmhouse, and then he understood it's a farm and there are animals on it. So he remembers something from the television he watched, and then we created that for him. He implemented it, and he didn't want to break it. That was the good part, because otherwise, I remember years back or months back, he would still like to just see a tower and he would break it. And now he likes to create things and he enjoys it. Another example is, he watches the song Planet Song and he enjoys it. It's really catchy. He enjoys it. He's trying to learn them up. And the moment I realized that he's gaining interest in that, I have a little puzzle set as well. So I gave it to him. He was able to do it. That he could identify a few planets and he would do it. And he does it, actually. So one of the things he can do on his own. So visual aids, pictures, diagram, draw things for your children so that they're able to pick that up as well. So when you draw something for your child, you can ask him to imitate. Imitation is another thing which comes with it. So you are stacking up blocks. That is also parallel play, which will come later. But then you are able to explain it to him so that the child can sit on his own and do certain things. Now, every time a child plays with something, make sure you are around. So when he's done with the activity, you applaud and you praise him that he's done a brilliant job. Because if he's playing for a little time also, it is a big milestone for us. It's a big achievement for us and obviously for the child. That leads to more of self-engagement, because he'll know that I have done something really good and my parents are loving it and they're clapping for me and they're cheering for me. So yes. And create a routine, as we already talked about routines as well before. So routines are important. So if you put a small, say about 15 minutes here and there in every little break or something, a little routine about playing independently. Give them a toy. They're playing with it. Like for my child, he loves his cars and he loves his different vehicles and everything. So we just give him the cars. Some of them are with battery, some of them are without battery, some of them are manually done, and some of them are retractable. So he understands these kind of things. And you can keep explaining, you have to not explain like that, but you can keep talking about it along with it. It's going forward, it's going backward, giving language at every step. Last but not the least, you should be patient. You should be very patient. Please do not think that your child will understand, okay, first go, he's got it. Okay, he knows how to, play with that ball or play with that toy. Please be patient. That is one thing we keep saying. We have to understand our children are, let's say, differently wired, but they are amazing. They have their different skills as well. If they are finding out a way to play with their toy, if it is not harming them, if it is something which is sort of appropriate, please encourage and then add on to more. Do not leave it at that and just tell them, no, it's not the correct way. Do not say it's not the correct way. You can say you can also play like this. It gives them the opportunity to discover more, understand more, and then benefit from it.
We have also created a video earlier which was on how to avoid caretaker burnout or burnout for parents. So I'll be putting that the link of that video also in the description. But the thing is, once your child is able to play on its own, then you as a parent or a caregiver will also get some time off to relax, to do things that you like and to unwind. So that's the beauty of once the child starts getting independent, then parents also get some kind of a break.
Yeah, I would like to add something there. So as I was saying, my son likes to play with the vehicles. He's been able to understand when we go out practically, and he's able to understand there are speed breakers and he calls them bumpies. And he's able to, and there are ramps, something we are going up and down. So he's able to create that with some certain books or maybe around the bed. So he takes that car and he actually says it, bumpy, or it's going up the ramp and coming down the ramp. So he's able to understand that and relate to the actual things. So please make sure when you're going in the cars or wherever, keep talking and giving them vocabulary.
Try to connect different scenarios, real life behavior, something that he sees on the TV or on YouTube, and then try to connect it with his playing behavior, his play. Now it's not very. This is something which is not very easy for parents with children on the spectrum. I don't say that every parent can do it or that we have been able to do it successfully all the time. No, it has taken a lot of time, effort, and generally it's very, very important that we work with a qualified professional, such as a behavior therapist or occupational therapist, to help develop a individualized plan for our child, so that the independent teaching skills can be taught to meet your child's specific need or abilities. So we hope that you found this video helpful. And before you start, of course, forcing your child to play in a social setting, make sure that he has good independent playing skills developed before that. So,
absolutely.
So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any comments, please do let us know how we can be of more help and how you can tell us what you can give us some tips that what we are missing out on. We also need all the help.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.